Hello guys, I'm Tom, and today we'll be exploring what Nosferatu are. Among the most enigmatic and terrifying figures that cinema, comics, and graphic novels have contributed to the horror genre, the vampires of the 30 Days of Night saga stand out for their ability to leave an indelible mark on the viewer's memory. These creatures are not mere fictional predators. They are entities that combine mystery, brutality, and an almost tangible presence that transcends both the pages and the screen. Within this franchise, the Nosferatu emerge as the most unsettling and memorable antagonists. Their name, directly referencing the classic vampires of expressionist cinema, conceals a complexity far greater than mere bloodlust. According to the comics, their current appearance is due to a mysterious viral infection that transforms humans into beings of immense strength and insatiable appetite. However, these creatures have inhabited the earth for centuries, moving silently among humans, always concealing their true nature and waiting for the opportune moment to strike. Their existence resides on the border between the biological and the supernatural, between myth and science, making them a prime example of meticulously crafted modern horror. The hunger of the Nosferatu is not a simple instinct. It is an absolute necessity that guides every one of their movements. To maintain their strength and immortality, they must constantly feed on human blood. Their method of hunting is ruthless, methodical, and calculated. There is no mercy, compassion, or hesitation. Every victim becomes another link in their cycle of death and transformation, and those who manage to escape are the few fortunate enough to witness the horror of these perfect predators. This combination of brutal ferocity and strategic intelligence places them at a superior level within the vampiric pantheon, offering horror fans an experience that blends suspense, terror, and fascination. Exploring the history of the Nosferatu involves delving into their origins, physiology, behavior toward humans, superhuman abilities, and vulnerabilities, all intricately interconnected. Although the saga never details a definitive origin, the hints presented in the comics suggest roots that are both supernatural and metaphysical. Their movement is unnatural. They possess superhuman speed and the ability to teleport short distances, making them impossible prey to catch by conventional means. Their disdain for the divine is evident. Scenes such as Marlowe mocking a victim who invokes God before being killed highlight that their nature transcends the biological, hinting at a profound curse and an origin that defies rational explanation. Still, the saga intertwines science with the mythical. The Nosferatu carry a lethal virus, transmissible through blood, which transforms humans into new vampires. Even a simple scratch or contact with blood can be enough to spread the infection, connecting the narrative to other examples of viral horror in contemporary culture, such as the red virus from Resident Evil or the Strigoi infection in The Strain. This blend of biology and curse makes the Nosferatu unique predators. They are deadly not only because of their claws and fangs, but also due to the threat of becoming what they hunt. The first movie in the saga sets the story in Barrow, Alaska, a town where the sun disappears for 30 consecutive days, plunging the region into total darkness. This setting is perfect for the Nosferatu. It removes their main vulnerability, sunlight, and allows them to unleash their full ferocity with absolute freedom. During this period, the vampires exert their power without restraint, turning a small, isolated town into a scene of absolute terror, where every shadow could hide a predator and every breath could be the last. Their physiology and behavior set them apart from classic vampires. Their skin is cadaverously gray, so pale it seems to absorb light. Their eyes are completely black, without reflection or humanity, projecting a disturbing void. Their nails are sharp claws, perfect tools for tearing flesh, and their fangs, irregular and wild, evoke the brutality of a primitive beast. Yet, despite their brutality, the Nosferatu retain fragments of their human memories and possess a strategic intelligence that allows them to plan and anticipate, even though they have completely lost empathy. Humans are nothing more than food, and the act of killing becomes a ritual of domination and pleasure. Their communication also distances them from the human world. They not only speak among themselves, but emit a terrifying guttural roar and use their own language, inspired by Amazonian tribal chants, reinforcing their alienation and aura of uncontrollable threat. Through these expressions, the Nosferatu construct a collective identity that combines the primitive, the ritualistic, and the terrifying, a hidden society that breathes and organizes itself in secrecy. The comics mention that in ancient times, the Nosferatu were governed by a council of elders led by a vampire named Vicente. Attempts at rebellion against humanity ended in nearly total persecution, decimating their species and leaving only a small group of survivors who continued under Vicente's leadership. They usually hunt in small groups, avoiding mass exposure, but the events of 30 Days of Night represent a historical exception, the perfect opportunity to attack an isolated settlement for an entire month of darkness, knowing that sunlight will not be an obstacle and that their reign of terror can extend without limits. The Nosferatu are creatures shrouded in an aura of absolute mystery and palpable terror, perfected predators whose nature grants them a set of abilities that place them far above any human being. Each of their faculties is honed for hunting and destruction, making them virtually invincible adversaries, capable of effortlessly annihilating anyone who crosses their path. They are more than vampires. They are forces of nature that combine intelligence, brutality, and lethal patience. Their most imposing characteristic is, without a doubt, immortality. As undead entities, the Nosferatu remain frozen in the physical state they had at the moment of their transformation. They know no disease, feel no wear from time, and show no signs of aging. Someone transformed at the age of 20, as long as they continue consuming blood, will eternally retain that youth, without wrinkles or marks of the passing years. This immortality is not only physical, but also psychological. They have perfected a predatory instinct that allows them to anticipate every move of their victims, developing strategies that rarely fail. In addition to immortality, they possess extraordinary regenerative abilities. Wounds that would be fatal to any human vanish within seconds. Deep cuts, mutilations, and even severe trauma heal as if they had never existed. This ability allows them to survive in extreme conditions, enduring storms, blizzards, and freezing temperatures that would overwhelm any other creature. In the icy expanses of Alaska, for example, the Nosferatu require no clothing or protection. Their resilience is absolute, and their bodies adapt to any hostile environment. Their physical strength defies all human logic. With a single movement, they can tear apart, crush, or destroy bodies and structures, while their speed and agility far exceed that of any human. This allows them to ambush and eliminate their prey with surgical precision. For the residents of Barrow, hiding proved futile against the coordination and swiftness of these predators. The senses of the Nosferatu are equally extraordinary. Their vision allows them to detect victims in complete darkness. Their hearing is so acute that they perceive the faintest whisper. Their sense of smell and taste can identify human presence from kilometers away. During the intense snowstorms in Barrow, these senses were temporarily hindered, allowing some survivors to remain hidden in attics, basements, or abandoned houses for weeks. But even these partial limitations were overcome with cunning. The Nosferatu used humans as bait, forcing them to reveal the positions of others in hiding, combining strategic intelligence with inhuman cruelty. Some accounts suggest that these vampires possess telepathic abilities, enabling them to communicate mentally with one another, although this is never fully explored. However, their most terrifying capability is short-distance teleportation. They can suddenly appear in front of their victims, trapping them with no chance of escape. Among the oldest Nosferatu, it is mentioned that they have the ability to blend in among humans, going unnoticed, a skill that adds an element of paranoia to their existence, though it is never fully developed in cinematic adaptations. With all these faculties, the Nosferatu stand as absolute alpha predators, dominating any scenario and ensuring that no human can confront them without being reduced to mere prey. Nonetheless, even these nearly invincible creatures have specific vulnerabilities. Unlike traditional European vampires, neither garlic nor wooden stakes pose a real threat. A stake may injure them, but it does not kill. Garlic has no effect whatsoever. They are resistant to close-range gunfire, explosions, and severe physical damage. They can lose limbs or suffer mutilations and regenerate them without difficulty. The true way to destroy them is by targeting the skull. Decapitation or precise shots to the head guarantee definitive death. Sunlight and ultraviolet radiation represent another formidable enemy. Brief exposure is enough to incinerate their bodies to ashes. Among enthusiasts, there is a theory that Nosferatu, after feeding, retain human components that react to the sun, accelerating their combustion, although this has never been officially confirmed. Some comics show that, under certain circumstances, a Nosferatu destroyed by sunlight can be revived if their ashes come into contact with the blood of the primordial vampires, original members of the ancient Council of Elders. Even the novel 30 Days of Night, in the Light of Day, introduces a genetically modified version immune to ultraviolet light, raising their danger to almost unimaginable levels. The 2007 film sets the action in Barrow, Alaska, as the residents prepare for the 30 days of continuous darkness. Many plan to flee to warmer climates, but a mysterious ship brings an enigmatic character known as the Stranger, who sabotages communications, eliminates sled dogs, and destroys infrastructure, convinced that his sacrifice will grant him transformation into a vampire. The Barrow sheriff manages to arrest the Stranger, and during his captivity, he predicts the massacre that is about to occur. Soon, Marlowe and his clan of Nosferatu begin the attack with devastating precision. They destroy the power station and the telecommunications center, plunging the town into absolute chaos. Each strike feels calculated, a display of meticulous violence that transforms the city into a scene of relentless horror. Although the film respects the essence of the comics, it introduces significant differences. The Stranger, who survives in the comics only to be killed by Eben, is eliminated by Marlowe in the film. Marlowe despises turning humans into vampires, ordering the execution of all victims. Vicente, the elder Nosferatu and council leader, intervenes to execute Marlowe and ensure that no human survives, thus preserving the species' secrecy. Other changes affect characters and relationships. In the comics, a mother and her son attempt to warn Barrow about the threat, but the boy is brutally killed by Vicente, an event omitted in the film. Eben and Stella, a couple in the comics, are portrayed in the movie as a separated married couple, with personal conflicts complicating their struggle for survival. Despite these differences, the 2007 adaptation successfully captures the brutality, terror, and chilling essence of the Nosferatu. Every scene, from their silent arrival to their calculated attacks, conveys the sense of a threat that is simultaneously physical, psychological, and almost supernatural, cementing the Nosferatu as unparalleled predators within the modern horror universe.